the potential that we have in terms of known reserves is quite high. We have something like 42 billion tons of oil and gas equivalent.
A potential game changer for India's energy future is unfolding in the pristine waters of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands.
An economic revolution might be brewing in the tranquil, turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean. Far from the bustling metropolises that define modern India, a potential secret lies buried deep beneath the seabed. This isn't just a minor resource find we're talking about. It's a nation-altering possibility, a hint of something so vast it has the power to fundamentally rewrite India's economic and geopolitical destiny. Deep in the Andaman Sea, early explorations are hinting at what could be one of the most significant energy stories of this century. We're talking about a colossal potential reserve of oil and gas, a treasure chest that some officials believe could rival the legendary finds that turned the small South American nation of Guyana into an overnight energy superpower. So, what if India is on the brink of an economic miracle? A potential oil and gas bonanza in the Andaman Sea, possibly worth trillions, could not only slash the nation's crippling reliance on foreign energy, but also help launch its economy from around $4 trillion toward an ambitious $20 trillion valuation.
We have the potential of several Guyanas in the Andaman Ocean.
This isn't just about finding oil, it's about a potential declaration of economic independence that would send shockwaves across the globe. So how did India stumble upon this hidden fortune, and what could it truly mean for its billion-plus people and the world at large? Section 1, the problem, India's Achilles heel. To really get why this is such a big deal, you first have to understand the fundamental vulnerability that has plagued India for decades. India is a rising giant, a beacon of economic growth, and one of the world's largest economies. Its cities are expanding, its industries are booming, and its population is young and ambitious. But this incredible growth story has always been shackled by one major weakness, a profound and dangerous addiction to foreign energy. For years, India has been the world's third largest importer of crude oil, trailing only the United States and China. Think about that for a moment. A nation with aspirations of global leadership has been almost entirely dependent on the whims of international markets for its energy needs. For the fiscal year 2023 to 2024, India's import dependency for crude oil was around 88%, and recent data for 2025 suggests that figure is climbing even higher, nearing 89%. That means for every 10 liters of fuel consumed, almost 9 of them came from a ship arriving at an Indian port. This isn't just a statistic, it's a massive drain on the national budget. Every year, India spends hundreds of billions of dollars on energy imports, money that flows out of the country instead of being invested at home. This constant outflow weakens the rupee, bloats the trade deficit, and makes the entire economy susceptible to global shocks. When tensions flare in the Middle East or when global energy cartels decide to tighten supply, it's the average Indian citizen who feels the pinch at the pump and in the rising cost of everyday goods. This energy insecurity has been the Achilles heel of an otherwise resilient economy. As India's economy continues its rapid ascent, its appetite for energy is only set to grow. Projections show that oil consumption could rise from over 4 million barrels per day to more than 7 million by 2030. Without a domestic solution, this would only deepen the dependency. For decades, the question has loomed large in New Delhi. How do you fuel a superpower's ambition on someone else's energy? The answer, it seems, might have been waiting patiently, hidden beneath the waves. Section 2, the discovery, a game-changing hunt. But what if that entire paradigm of dependency could be shattered? The setting for this potential revolution is the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, an archipelago better known as a pristine tourist destination. Yet it is here, in the vast, unexplored sedimentary basins of the Andaman Sea, that a new chapter in India's story might be written. For years, geologists have theorized that this region held immense promise, sharing geological similarities with the proven hydrocarbon-rich regions of Myanmar and Indonesia. For a long time, however, much of this area was a no-go zone, leaving its true potential untapped. That has now changed dramatically. Driven by the mission to achieve energy self-reliance, the Indian government opened up nearly 1 million square kilometers of previously restricted offshore areas for exploration. Leading the charge is India's state-run giant, the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, ONGC. In the 2024-25 fiscal year, ONGC drilled a record 578 wells, the highest number in 35 years, signaling a powerful new momentum in the hunt for domestic energy. And this persistent effort is showing promising signs. While no major commercial discovery has been officially declared yet, the green shoots, as they've been called, are incredibly encouraging. Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Hardeep Singh Puri, has become the face of this newfound optimism. He has repeatedly suggested that India may be on the verge of its own Guyana moment, a comparison to the colossal offshore discovery that transformed Guyana's economy. The estimated potential in the Andaman Sea is staggering. Preliminary figures suggest reserves could be as high as 184,440 crore liters, which translates to roughly 11.6 billion barrels of oil equivalent. To be clear, this is an early estimate of the region's potential, not a confirmed find. But Mr. Puri's confidence is based on encouraging data from early drilling, mentioning he has 2.5 pages of listed locations with a reasonable expectation of a find. Recent drilling has already validated the existence of an active petroleum system in the region, a critical first step. This is no longer just a hopeful theory. It's a data-driven mission that's getting closer to its goal. This hunt is truly monumental, and we're just scratching the surface of its potential impact. The journey from initial signs to a full-blown economic transformation is a fascinating one. If you're captivated by how resources are reshaping our world, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss our deep dives into the stories that define our future. Section 3, The Economic Miracle, the path to a $20 trillion economy. So what would finding a massive reserve of oil actually mean for India? How does this black gold, trapped miles beneath the ocean, translate into the headline-grabbing figure of a $20 trillion economy? The answer lies in a powerful chain reaction of economic benefits. The journey would begin with immediate fiscal relief. India's annual import bill for crude oil is enormous. Even a modest reduction in that dependency would save tens of billions of dollars every single year. Imagine that capital being funneled into building new highways, modernizing railways, and funding cutting-edge research. It's a direct injection of wealth that stimulates growth from the ground up. But the impact goes far beyond just saving money. The exploration and production activities themselves would be a huge economic stimulus, requiring tens of billions in investment and creating a wave of high-skilled jobs for engineers, geologists, and technicians. This would also spark a massive expansion of infrastructure in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, fostering unprecedented regional development. This creates a powerful multiplier effect. With a stable and cheaper domestic supply of energy, the cost of manufacturing could plummet. Indian factories could become more efficient and their products more competitive on the global market. Lower energy costs also mean lower inflation for consumers, increasing their purchasing power and driving domestic demand. This is the engine that could propel India towards that ambitious $20 trillion target. That figure, mentioned by Minister Hardeep Singh Puri in the context of a major energy find, reflects just how transformative energy independence can be. By providing the secure, affordable energy needed to sustain high growth, a discovery of this magnitude would act as a powerful catalyst, removing the single biggest handbrake on India's economic engine. Section 4, The Geopolitical Shockwave, a new power player emerges. The implications of a major Andaman discovery would extend far beyond India's borders. A nation of 1.4 billion people transitioning from a top energy importer to a significant producer is an event that could fundamentally alter the global balance of power. For decades, India's foreign policy has been constrained by its energy needs. Energy independence would grant New Delhi an unprecedented level of autonomy on the world stage. An India that isn't dependent on foreign oil is an India that can make foreign policy decisions based purely on its own national interests. The strategic location of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands amplifies this. The archipelago sits astride some of the world's most critical sea lanes. By developing a major energy and industrial hub here, India would not only secure its own energy future, but also dramatically enhance its maritime security and influence across the Indian Ocean. This shift would inevitably change the dynamics within international forums like OPEC Plus and the G20. While it wouldn't make India a price maker overnight, its voice would carry new weight, transforming it from a pure price taker to a major market influencer. This would undoubtedly cause a recalibration in the world's capitals. How will established energy powers react? How will other major importers view a newly energy-resilient India? The Andaman hunt isn't just about barrels and dollars, it's about shifting the tectonic plates of global power. Section 5, The Road Ahead, Challenges and Realities. But let's hit the brakes for a second. It's vital to temper this extraordinary optimism with a dose of realism. The journey from a promising green shoot to a gushing oil field is long, complex, and filled with challenges. First, there are immense technical and financial hurdles. The potential reserves are in deep and ultra-deep water, with drilling needing to reach depths of up to 5,000 meters. This is at the cutting edge of engineering and is incredibly expensive. As Minister Puri himself has pointed out, citing Guyana's experience, success often requires drilling dozens of costly wells, each costing upwards of $100 million, before hitting a commercially viable field. Second is the timeline. Even after a discovery is confirmed, building the infrastructure for production, platforms, pipelines, processing facilities, can take anywhere from 5 to 10 years, or possibly even longer. The benefits we've discussed won't materialize overnight. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, are the environmental considerations. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are a global biodiversity hotspot, home to fragile marine ecosystems and pristine coral reefs. Any large-scale industrial activity must be handled with extreme care, balancing the nation's economic aspirations with its duty to protect a priceless natural heritage will be a critical challenge the world will be watching closely. The story of the Andaman Sea is the story of a nation on a quest for profound transformation. It represents a potential turning point where decades of vulnerability could finally give way to an era of energy independence and unprecedented economic strength. The prospect of unlocking billions of barrels of oil could be the key to unleashing India's full potential, powering its journey toward becoming a $20 trillion economy and a leading global power. The path ahead is undoubtedly challenging, paved with technical complexities, immense financial costs, and significant environmental responsibilities. Success is not guaranteed, but for the first time, the destination is at least visible. The aggressive exploration push shows that India is determined to seize this historic opportunity. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, a new destiny is being drilled. The Samudra Manthan, or the great churning of the ocean, has begun. It is a mission not just to find oil, but to find a new future for India, a future that is self-reliant, prosperous, and secure. What do you think? Is this the hunt that will finally change the global energy map forever? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.